that the American dream that they thought that they were buying is a lie. There's a brotherhood and a sisterhood in this business. Stop going to these one-stop shop outfits. I was able to take that $90,000 and turn it into an 8-figure portfolio, real estate portfolio.
Welcome back to Real Estate and Chill. As always, it's $1 million episode. I'm your host, Kevin Iglesias, associate real estate broker. Today in the building, we got a very special man. You've seen him on Rants and Gems, Earn Your Leisure, Inside the Vault, Bigger Pockets, Millionaire Mindsets, and now he's on Real Estate and Chill. We got the one and only Welby, Accely. Let's go!
Listen, man, I've never had nobody introduce me like that, and that's not even exaggerating, man. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you being here, man.
For a long time, man.
It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute.
Gotta be a good 2 years we've been trying to do.
I know. You're a busy guy, man. You're buying all these properties. You're traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
I love your story. If you could introduce yourself and give our audience some background on who you are.
Well, my name is Welby Accely. On social media platforms, it's at my best, ATMYBEST 197, at my best 197. And I always tell people I'm a first generation Haitian American, born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, live out on Long Island now. And I've been investing in real estate now for about 21 years. And I'm known for giving the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate and talking about the areas that most people don't want to talk about. I bring those up because the majority of people relate to my story because the majority of people have gone through what I've gone through.
You know, and I'm glad you said that because I definitely relate to your story. When I think of you, I think you're the definition of what a hustler is, right? I think you're the epitome of what resilience means because you took so many losses.
Yeah. I still take losses.
Yeah, but I mean, from all the losses that you took in the beginning, and let's dive into that, you know, everything that you've had to come from, and you just kept bouncing back.
Yeah.
You know, you just didn't quit. Most people would have gave up.
But you know what? It sounds the tail end of my story, and we could definitely talk about that. You hear the end result of it, but when you're in the midst of it, you don't see the light. You just see the darkness. So don't think that I felt that way during those processes of what I was going through. So when I got wiped out the first time in real estate, I got wiped out. I was like, this is it. I'm not doing real estate no more. My life is over. This is bullshit. My credit got destroyed. So for me to keep going through, I didn't think it was possible, you know? And then certain changes I had to make in my life. And, you know, here we are today.
So let's talk about that first loss because you speak a lot about not investing out of state if you're a newbie investor, if you don't have that much experience. Was that out of state, your first loss?
My first property I purchased was an out-of-state investment. I live in New York. I've always lived in New York. I've never moved. And my first piece of property I bought was a 4-unit property I bought in Atlanta, Georgia. That's why I tell people what's going on today in 2024, 2023, 2022, it's no different. The only things that have pretty much changed is the name of the process or the product and the players, which are the buyers. But I got wiped out about 4 years, 3.5, 4 years later after acquiring the property. I bought the property with the plan of using it as an investment for cash flow. I didn't understand the acquisition. I didn't understand rehabbing. I didn't understand management. I just thought that I won because I got to the closing table. I was able to sign and I was qualified. And then all of the people that were around me, the realtors, the contractors, the attorneys, were my cheerleaders. Yeah, bro, sign. Not realizing that the person at the table, which was me, was responsible for everybody at the table getting paid. But I was the one left holding the bag. So essentially what I ended up doing is I overpaid for a property that wasn't worth what I paid for. And then I had to rehab the property. When I rehabbed the property, I didn't understand how to manage a contractor. Now, how do I manage a contractor while I'm living in New York?
Yeah, it's tough.
Right? So then now the contractor took advantage of me, robbed me, right? Same thing that's happening today. One of the biggest questions people ask me about is how do you manage contractors? How do you deal with contractors? Because people know how dirty contractors can be. But when I speak about it, everybody's mad about it, but it's the conversation behind the scenes for everybody about contractors. The contractor took advantage of me. The property I was supposed to be able to generate roughly $4,000 in gross income based off of what the realtor represented to me, the best I was able to pull out of it was $2,000 a month. The mortgage that I got was around $1,800 a month. So by the time I factored in paying on the mortgage, paying on utilities, etc., doing the FHA process of implying like I'm gonna live there, right? Everybody, I know what I'm talking about. You people that are doing FHA, that are implying to the bank and to everyone else that you're gonna be living there, knowing you're not gonna live at that property, so that you can get the best, lowest rate. I did the same thing too. So what ends up happening, I was negatively cash flowing from the beginning, immediately. The property manager was making more money than me.
Sheesh.
Then what happened? What does everybody tell everybody to do today? I'm gonna ask the host. When a person buys their property, what do they tell the person to do in the next year or two?
Marry the house, date the rate.
So what are you normally doing?
Refinancing.
Tell the camera.
Refinancing.
Refinancing. So that's what I did. I refinanced. When I refinanced, no matter I refinanced, my circumstances got worse. It didn't get better. The mortgage went up. So if I'm already negatively cash flowing, my mortgage went up, I already overpaid for the property, there was no money to pull out.
Sheesh.
So 2 years after that, I lost the property to foreclosure. So the property that I bought for $220,000, I refinanced for $240,000. I lost that foreclosure for $60,000. So my story is everybody else's story. There's more people that are going through what I shared than are not. There are more people losing and failing than are winning. But I'm not afraid to share my story and to talk about it. That's the first time I got wiped out.
Now, just before you go on, I don't want to cut you off, but what year was this?
I bought the property the tail end of 2003.
2003. Okay,
something like
so
that.
before the crash.
Correct. So then I got wiped out because of the crash. I got wiped out in 2008. I got wiped out.
And that was the first time.
That was my first wipeout.
So you held on to the property for a couple of years.
I held on to it for almost 4 years. I held on to it.
And you were always negative.
There was no possible way to make money. The rents are the rents are the rents.
So what made you hold on to that potential appreciation, or was it just ego? Was it pride? What was it?
All of that.
All of that.
My pride, my ego, and I thought that this is what real estate investing is. I thought that winning in real estate was buying. I thought that I won because I can buy.
You got to the closing table.
I got to the closing table. So to the people that I talk to, because my DMs go crazy with the horror stories. My DMs go crazy with the horror stories. Buying real estate is not a win. I know it hurts people's soul when I say that. Simply buying real estate is not a win. It's an accomplishment, but it's not a win, especially if you're saying that you're doing it with the investment approach, with an investor approach. So I thought that I won because I bought it. So then now I'm fighting for it. I'm fighting for it. My name is attached to it. At that time I had a 700 credit score. I have pride, so I'm fighting to save this property. So while the tenants who were paying, some weren't paying, I was making up the difference. And I was still living at home at the time, as well at my parents' home at the time. So I'm fighting my ego, my pride. I don't want to see this fail. So you know how many people are buying real estate right now and are realizing 2, 3, 4 months later that the American dream that they thought that they were buying is a lie? You know how many people realize that? You know when they realize it?
When it's too late.
After the fact.
Yeah. When it's too late.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What made you get into real estate? Like, what made you get into investing? Was it rich dad, poor dad? Like, what influenced you to say, you know what, I'm going to take this leap of faith?
Well, the seed was planted in my head. I didn't realize it until I was a grown man, but the seed of investing in real estate was planted in my head at around the age of 7 years old by my godfather.
Okay.
My godfather lives out here in Long Island as well. And as a kid, he used to take me around to some of the properties he owned. He owned maybe 2 or 3 properties, and he also had his own brokerage. So I would see him move around, but I didn't really grasp it, to be honest with you. I didn't really grasp it. That's why I said the seed was planted, but it didn't start to sprout in my mind until I was in my very early 20s. So that's what happened. Then now I started working, and I realized that at a young age too, we all have to have a job and work. We have to start somewhere, but I realized it wasn't going to be enough. I wanted to do other things in addition if I had to. So that's when I started diving into a multitude of things. I owned a tire shop. I was part owner of a nursing agency at one point. I was doing everything. Me and my twin brother owned a car dealership. We were doing everything, trying to figure it out. You don't know what you don't know. You're trying to figure it out. But real estate always kept coming back to me. Always kept coming back to me. And eventually I dived in, like I said, in 2003, 2004, and it was a horror story. It was a horror story for me.
But you haven't just made bad investments in real estate. You were part of a big project that went south as well, right?
I was part of a project in Goshen, New York, upstate
New York. Okay.
So and the project was called Go Ocean, Go space Ocean Water Park. So if anybody would like to go to your Google,
do your Googles.
Yo, listen, I've been really knee deep in trying to figure shit out, bro. So all you gotta do is go to Go Ocean Water Park Scam, and you're gonna see a Ponzi scheme situation that happened with a water park that was going to be built in Goshen, New York. It was a real project. The mayor was involved. There were major players, and I'm not talking about famous people. I'm talking about people with real money that invested hundreds of millions of dollars into this project. I also invested a good chunk of money myself, and because of the partnership I was able to position myself in, I had a considerable share in the project.
Okay, so you're going to own a portion of the business.
A huge portion of it. Huge portion of it. And basically what happened, the lady's name, if everybody want to Google her, is Liliana Traficante.
Yo, that last name alone,
yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if I would have felt comfortable giving 100,000 or six figures
I gave
to
way
somebody.
More than that to this woman.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So Google it. Liliana Traficante, Go Ocean Water Park Scam. When you pull it up, they blocked out our names, but you're gonna see victim number 4.
You were victim number 4?
I was victim number 4. I didn't know that as being victim number 4, there was over 27 people, 28 people, others that she also stole money from. I didn't realize that the feds were investigating. I didn't realize that the feds were tapping phone calls, her phone call to be exact, until one day they came knocking on my door. When they knocked on my door, I was nervous and scared.
Yeah, I would have.
Because I was thinking about it was involving some other things. Right?
Yeah. I got you.
So they started asking me questions. And I'll never forget the guy's name. He's a Fed. His name was Andy Ryder.
Sounds like a movie, bro.
Yeah. Yo, listen, I've been through a lot. My stories, I've gone through a lot trying to figure shit out.
Yeah.
So they came in my house where I was still living at home. So you got 2 Caucasian men dressed up.
In the hood?
In the hood. Start asking me certain questions. And when they started asking me certain questions, I started realizing it wasn't anything else other than about the water park situation. And when the questions they were asking me, they had my bank account information, deposits. They wanted to see if I was going to lie to them. So from my answers, they knew I was telling the truth. And then that's when they asked me, do you know a woman by the name of Liliana Traficante? I was like, yeah, that's my partner. Then they asked me, have you been waiting for a wire being deposited into your Chase bank account for $425,000? Yeah, I've been waiting. I keep going back and forth to Chase Bank trying to understand, because all you could see, it says pending. And then Andy Ryder arrogantly said, it hasn't deposited because of me, because of us. And then that's when they commenced to start telling me about what was going on. and basically she was stealing money from the parties involved, was wiring money like a Ponzi scheme to pay out people, including myself, hoping that we wouldn't blow it up due to the lack of progress in the project and stuff like that. And yeah, that was another business I was in that wiped me out as well.
Oh, so you never recuperated that money
I
that you
didn't get a
invested?
nickel.
Nothing at
Then
all.
what that did is she got found guilty, or she pled guilty. She got sentenced to federal prison for 5 years, and she has to pay restitution to myself and other people. And I got all of a penny since then.
That's it?
Yeah.
What year was this?
Oh man, 9, 10, something like that. 2009, 10.
So after you hit the big loss with the, with that first property, this was the second loss?
No, that has nothing to do with real estate. That had nothing to do with real estate. I got wiped out the second time in real estate when this is when the market was going crazy, similar to what happened during the pandemic in 2010, somewhere around that area. And you could just throw shit to the walls and you could make money. So I dived in recklessly, buying, selling, moving, and then everything halted in the market. And I got left holding the bag and I got wiped out again.
Sheesh. So a lot of losses.
Yeah. Then I got wiped out again, tail end of 2012. But when I got wiped out again in 2012, it was the best thing that happened to me because that was the turning point for me in the business. So when I look back at that's why I say it's easier to say things after the fact, but while you're going through it, your world it's over. So when I tell everybody in the business, I understand what you're going through. I'm not judging you. I understand what you're going through. I can relate. I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. When that happened to me, I said, I got given a $90,000 check, but I lost tens of thousands of dollars, but I got left with $90,000. So when I got this $90,000, one of the common denominator through this entire process of everything I was sharing with was my lack of willing to bet on me. That was my number one issue. I would bet on everybody. I would bet on Liliana Traficante. I would bet on the realtors that presented to me the properties. I would bet on the mortgage lenders, and I would take what they say at face value because I'm walking in the door with integrity. So I assume everybody else is coming in the door the same way.
Same way, yeah.
So when I had to accept the fact I never truly bet on me, I was betting on everybody else. I said, this last $90,000 that I got, if anybody gonna fuck it up, it's gonna be me. Because I allowed everybody else to fuck my money up. So if anybody loses this money, it's gonna be me. I was able to take that $90,000 and turn it into an 8-figure portfolio, real estate portfolio. I generate tens of thousands of dollars in net income a month, profit. I have several hundred mentees. I give you guys the good, the bad, the ugly of investing in real estate. And I show it to you with real, actionable, real receipts. And I show you how I've done it and how you can obtain doing it too.
You know what I love about you when I watch you on Instagram and your episodes and everything else is that you tell it how it is, but you share all the things that could go wrong that I don't see anybody else doing. Everybody's like, oh yeah, buy this, the cash flow, or if you're negative cash flow, it's fine, wait for appreciation.
That's right.
They sell you everything, then they sell you their courses, and it's like, then you start to hear the horror stories with them as well. So what made you spin that approach? Obviously because your story, but were there certain gurus that you were following that like, yeah, that's BS, that's all BS?
Well, when you in the game, there's a brotherhood and a sisterhood in this business. So you being in the position that you've been for a number of years, when you walk up and you talk to somebody, can't you tell the bullshit from the gate?
100%.
Okay, so what makes me special? I could tell the bullshit right out the gate. You just can see it. There's a certain level of conversation, certain basic information that we all have to follow the fundamentals of this business. So now as far as were there other gurus? I don't go against anybody. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. But my very good friend, June Tycoon, we've known each other since we kids, 12 years old. I've always been who I am. But one thing he emphasized with me is, yo, just be yourself. Just be who you are. So what I am and how I show you is not for the cameras. This is how I am. This is how I am. I believe that we are all adults and we are grown enough, especially in our community. It's not a black or white thing, but let's just keep it honest. Our community is way behind. So we've been lied to enough by other parties and within our own community. We've been lied to enough. So my attitude is we're grown enough to be able to tell the truth to one another and take the information and make an informed decision. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Yo, you're going to get robbed out here. You are going to get robbed out here. I promise you that. You're going to be lied to. You're going to be manipulated. Not only that, you are the most important person in the entire equation of investing in real estate. You are the most important person in the entire equation of investing in real estate. I don't care what nobody tell you. Who are you? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about that person at the table that was qualified to buy that property. Make no mistake, nobody at that table can make money without you.
It's a fact.
So we need to stop this narrative that we're partners. Because there's people out here trying to convince you, the qualified buyer, that you are a partner with the realtor that got you that property. I don't even say got you that property, that showed you a property. You got the mortgage lenders trying to convince you that we are partners. No, we're not. We are not partners. The fact is, I'm your customer, but I pay you. That's just, am I lying?
No, nobody makes money if there's not a client at the closing
So
table.
why is it that so many people get upset about that?
You tell it how it is. You know what it is too? People don't look at it in that aspect, right? When you speak it and it's raw and it's authentic, I think you make people think like, all right, we didn't look at it that way. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's business.
Now think about that. Now, given the fact that you are the most important person in the equation of real estate, how much more important do you think that you, as the investor, as the qualified buyer, should be educated before you start buying?
You should be educated from the jump.
Okay.
You're the most important. Without you, there's no deal.
So why are you playing then? I'm talking about you, buyer. I'm talking about you, new investor. Why are you playing like that then? You're telling me when you don't, let's talk about this part. May I get to this?
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's your show.
So we have all of these programs. Housing programs.
NACA program.
Say it.
NACA program.
Go ahead. What else?
There's a lot of programs.
Okay.
Sony May program.
Go ahead. FHA.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, you're not getting real estate for free. So I'm sick and tired of people, when we talk about those programs, people are leading with, I'm talking about people that are buying for their first time home. I only had to put the cheapest amount of money down to buy this property, and they're proud of it. No, my friend, that's not what happened. You just now indebted yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't say that when you're using these programs that you're only responsible for what you put in. You're responsible for everything. So that's why when you look on your credit report, it doesn't say I used NACA, FHA, VA, and I only put down 3.5% of the total debt. It says, no, congratulations, my friend. You are indebted to us X amount. Am I right or wrong?
Accurate.
Okay.
Facts.
So you're not buying real estate cheaply. Sorry, you're not. You just took on probably the most expensive responsibility of your lifetime for you and your family. So why are you going at it half-assed like that? How are you walking into a situation and you allowing the realtor, or you allowing the lender, or you allowing whomever else to manipulate you with false information or half-assed information for you to be comfortable enough to say, let me sign my life away? Are you crazy?
It's 30 years debt.
30 years of debt. Most people are not going to survive this shit. That's just the truth. Most people are not going to survive what's upon us that's coming. Most people are not going to survive. You, my friend, that just bought your house, you feeling it already. The people that are watching this right now, you watching me, you feeling it already. You feeling the pressure already. You already saying to yourself, something don't feel right here. The first of the month comes, the mortgage got to get paid, taxes, insurance, and everything got to get paid. The water bill got to get paid, the electric got to get paid, food got to be paid, the car note got to be paid. Come the 15th, you like, sweetheart, honey, something don't feel right over here. Am I right or wrong?
Look, a lot of people make the wrong financial decisions, and unfortunately, you see them going through foreclosure or short sale procedures. It happens a lot. There's a lot of realtors in the industry that only care about the paycheck.
Do me a favor. This is your, because you say that to the camera, please.
I said there's a lot of realtors out there who only care about a paycheck. But to have longevity, you and I both know you got to do the right thing. And that's why I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your time and your presence, because you keep it real. You talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've been in this business for almost 10 years now, right? I didn't always have success. I wasn't always, making money. I had to take a lot of losses as well. So I resonate a lot with your story. And I see people like, all they care about is the check. That's it. Check, boom, out. It's just a transaction. They don't care about anything else.
And mind you, when they say that Americans, 70% don't even have $1,000 in their bank account, they didn't say Caucasians. They didn't say African Americans. They didn't say Indians. They didn't say Hispanics. They said Americans. They didn't even give you they didn't even give you a number in terms of Americans that make X amount of money. They said Americans. So the majority of the people that you're encountering in whatever industry and whatever that they're doing are living check to check. So when most of these realtors see you, they're looking to sell it to the highest bidder.
That's the market we're in, 100%.
They're looking to sell to the highest bidder. So you as the investor, as the buyer, has to be, the market is not high because the market is high or overpriced. The market is not overpriced just because it's overpriced. You know why it's overpriced?
Tell me.
Because of you, the buyer.
So let's talk about that, because right now, even though the rates are the highest we've seen them since,
I hope they go higher.
The early 2000s.
I hope they go higher. We were at 7%. I'm hoping for 9-10% soon.
So let's talk about that. The reason why I'm seeing so many overbids, 50,000, 60,000 over ask, is because low supply, high demand.
Okay, cool.
There's more buyers than there are houses out there.
Cool.
Low inventory, more buyers out there qualified. And I think that, people get in the mindset of, which is true, if the rates do drop and they go lower, the prices you're going to have to pay are going to soar through the roof even more.
I respect that. I can respect that, but you're barely able to survive what you got now.
Look, if I'm meeting with somebody and they are not in a financial position to buy a house, I tell them this is not for you. Don't do it, because later on, you're going to be very upset. You're going to lose your house. It's going to affect your credit. Your family is going to ruin a lot of things for you. Do not make the decision for you.
So that old saying, buy the house, date the rate?
I don't agree with that. 100%.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, I don't agree with that.
Do you not realize how the people in the industry create marketing tactics, buzzwords?
100%.
So
I agree with you.
They shift in different angles on what can we do to get the people to say, he's right, she's right, I'm going to buy anyways. There's no guarantee that rates are going down.
Well, look at where we are right now. Like you said, we're in the 7s. Everybody predicted, even the media was saying that the rates was supposed to be right now in the low 5s.
I'm calling it right now. We're going to hit the 8s.
8s?
Oh, we're going to be in the 8s. We're going to be in the 8s. Just listen to what the Fed is saying.
So let me ask you a question. From a consumer point of view,
Yes.
from a buyer's point of view,
Yes.
from an agent's point of view, why do you want the rates to go up?
Because we need to slow this market down.
Okay.
This is not sustainable.
This market that went 100%. I agree.
That's it. It's as simple as that. Higher rates will pull back people from wanting to buy. will in turn slow the market down. If it slows the market down, sellers are going to be forced to have to drop their price. You understand? Sellers are going to have to drop their price. You got people that are selling properties. If you see the area I'm investing in, bro, they're listing prices on distressed properties. They're listing them
through the roof.
At retail, above retail value.
I mean, we're seeing that here in Long Island.
Yes.
There's bidding wars going on for foreclosures, short sales, drive-bys.
Yes.
I'm like, how?
And guess who's buying them?
Investors?
No, they're not.
Who?
It's not the investors that are buying that.
Oh, you're saying the everyday consumers?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not the everyday consumers. They be so upset with the investor. It's not the investor that's pushing the market up. It's the consumer that is. Why would it, if you have the investor mindset and you know that this property could only sell in a market for $500,000, as an investor, why would you pay $500,000 for it?
It doesn't make sense.
There's no room to make money. So it's not the investor that's doing it. The buyer, the consumer is doing it with the thought of, I can fix this later. That's what it is. Let me buy this for $500,000 because if the interest rates go down, if it goes down, my value of my home will go up more. Right or wrong?
Yep.
What they're not saying to you is, you barely able to afford what you bought right now. Your property value has to go up for you to have the ability to do a refi.
You have to have equity in the house.
Okay, so now if you bought the property for $500,000 and you barely can afford it, and now you're waiting for appreciation to go up, you need at least 70% plus you need at least 25 to 30% of equity in the property because they're only refinancing you at a 70%. So at $500,000, your property value has to go upwards of what, 700,000 plus? So that they can refinance you at roughly the current principal balance that you have. But who's gonna just do a simple refi? They're gonna convince you to pull some money out too. So now you're gonna pull some money out, which means your debt increases. It didn't decrease. You're barely able to survive already. And then what did they tell you? With the extra money that you was hopefully able to pull out, you could use that money to go and buy yourself an investment property. How are you going to survive something like that? You're barely able to afford what you currently own. Now you put yourself in even more debt. And now you're taking the money, some of the money that you got, to try and buy yourself an investment property. The manner how most of these people are buying investment properties, they're not even making any money.
Barely, not barely. It's a tough market. Let me ask you this though, right? Because when prices go up, and you as a landlord, you own how many doors?
I own a lot.
A lot of doors.
But here's the thing. So I be clear with people why I don't talk and brag about doors.
Let's hear it, because I hear this all the time.
Okay.
What you say.
It's a false representation of the truth.
I see people on TikTok, Instagram saying they got 100, 200 doors.
Yes.
What's the cash flow?
Okay. Now, you want to talk about cash flow? We could talk about it all day. And then you could see the kind of money I'm generating. So the reason why I never talk about doors, I'm doing it for the people because it's a false representation of the truth. You assume that because somebody has 50 doors, then you encounter somebody with 100 doors. The person with the 100 doors must be generating more money than the person with the 50 doors. Somebody with the 100 doors net worth must be higher than the person with the 50 doors. And nothing could be further from the truth. So I emphasize quality over quantity. That's what I focus on. F how many doors you got. Screw you and how many doors you got. How much money you're netting after all expenses are paid. What is your equitable position in your property? Let's talk about that. So that's why I don't speak on doors this, doors that. I don't care about that.
So all right. When prices go up,
Yeah.
rents go up as well. So you're saying that you want the prices to go lower. What's going to happen to the rental price? Because right now, rent's through the roof.
And rent is going to stay up. Rent's going to stay up. Rent's going to go up higher. Want me to explain why?
Go ahead.
Okay. So You said it yourself. There's a supply issue. Not only is a supply issue, there's more people not going to be able to be qualified than are. It's only a handful of people that can really truly buy. It's the fact. We are, which is a fact, turning into more of a renters nation. And there's not enough rentals around. There's not enough rentals around. So yes, let's say the prices go down. That doesn't mean automatically that the prices of your rent go down. But let's just say the rent prices do go down. I give an example of I got a, let me speak, which 4-family would I say? I got a 4-family that generates me a net profit of about $4,600 a month, net profit, after expenses. My 3 bedrooms are $1,900 each.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Where is it? Not New York?
Oh, no, in Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay. Well, right there.
Yeah. So how much the rent would go down? $200 each?
Still a win?
Yeah. So, okay, so let's say you're right. Rents do go down. The rents do go down, and I take $200 each on each apartment. 2 of them are 3 bedrooms, 2 of them are 2 bedrooms, and the 2 bedrooms are $1,500 each. So, okay, cool. I take an average $200 each. That's $800 off the overall. I'm still clearing $3,300, $3,500 a month net. And that property's value got over $250,000 in equity in it. So yeah, okay, yeah, I take a little bit of a hit on it. But guess what? There's somebody else out here in my area that overpaid for that property that's taking a hit that's not going to be negatively cash flowing.
Going to be in the red.
So then guess what's going to happen? Hey, sir, you're having a problem with the property. I can buy the property, offer you cash, and I'll take over his property, get it at a discounted price, and match the same rent. And now instead of making in total $3,300 because of the reduction, now between the two, I'm making almost $6,000.
So let me ask you this. How are people supposed to get out of the rat race, right? Because if they're renting right now and if they're owning, rates at an all-time high, prices still at an all-time high, rents are up, what can they do to put themselves in a financial position to be ahead of the game?
Well, one, stop buying unnecessary things, discipline yourself because you need money to invest in real estate. I know that there are people say you don't need money. Yes, you always going to need money to invest in real estate. It doesn't mean the money has to come from you, but you need money to invest in real estate. You will be surprised how much you will be able to accomplish if you just sit your ass down for a little bit. You'd be surprised. You really would be surprised. You'd be surprised at what you start to see as opportunities come to you because you're prepared. Right now, I'm liquid, right? I have I'm heavy liquid, right? It's a problem because you're losing money because of the inflation, but at the same time, it's good that I'm liquid because there's opportunities that's popping up that, you got to sell your property. I'll give you a 30% reduction on your property price on your property. Your property's already distressed. I'll give you cash. I could close in a week. No contingencies. Who you think they're gonna sell it to? Somebody that's gonna come that's trying to do a loan on it, or somebody that's gonna come with even a hard money loan, or somebody that got cash and says no contingency, I'll buy it.
The cash buy.
That's what I've been working on my entire career to be the position I'm at right now. That's what I've worked on my entire career, to be where I'm at right now, because the opportunities are coming.
So what are your predictions on this market? How do you foresee this? How long do you think this market is going to last? Seller's market, everything overpriced.
The thing is that I don't buy into the buyers and sellers market. All I'm saying is we've been due for a correction. So whatever title somebody wants to put onto it, fine. Some people will call it a crash. Some people will call it a soft landing. Whatever it is. But what we think is going to continue going is going to change. It has to.
When do you foresee, like, when can you say?
I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you because it does. Check this out. Up, down, or stagnant, I'm going to still get to it.
And all your deals you're finding is off market, or
85 to 90% of the deals that you've ever seen that I've acquired came off the MLS.
You got a question?
Okay, yeah,
Yo, so this is the first time that we get a question
From a cameraman? Shoot, cameraman.
You said opportunities are coming. Like, what avenues are you investing in, like marketing-wise, so you can get in front of these property owners and get these opportunities?
Well, that's a great question. 85 to 90% of my deals that you ever see I put up is off the MLS. 85 to 90% of the flips you've ever seen me do, the rentals that I own came directly off the MLS. So they go one. There's going to be plenty of opportunities coming from there. Then being in the business, you start to build relationships. So that's why you need to be a person of integrity, because things come back around.
Oh yeah, reputation is everything.
So I got me another property in Queens, New York, recently. It's worth, in today's market, at least $900,000. I got it under contract for $460,000.
Two family?
One family.
One family still.
How did I get that? I lead with integrity, bro. You can say whatever y'all want to say about me on the internet, but one thing you can't say is that Welby's a man of his word and you can close your eyes and trust him. An attorney contacted me. Hey, I got a client that's in a probate situation. Would you be interested in an opportunity? Yeah. Sent it to me. I said, I'll do it. And I sent her the money the same day. Get us under contract. So those are the ways that it's going to happen. I got mentees. I got people that know me in my areas I invest. They'll tap my shoulder and say, hey, I have an opportunity or not. I'll put Facebook posts. I put posts on my Instagram. I got cash. Anybody got a good opportunity? Send them to me. But guess what? 99.9% of the time, the opportunities are trash most of the time. But that's what I'm doing. Also, too, the flow of opportunities are going to be lower. Okay? I've done over 130 plus flips in the last 5 years. I was doing at a time 20 to 30 on average a year, and I would be doing 3 or 4 simultaneously. Now, the influx of opportunity like that has dropped dramatically, where I'm doing maybe 1, 2, 4. But now the type of opportunities I'm doing, I treat myself like a sniper. I'm going to eat heavy. I'm not doing the deal so I could just make $10,000, $20,000. I'm going to do that deal because I'm going to make me, $75,000, $100,000 net profit. Net profit. I only talk net. And then I'd be intentional on what I'm going to do with that money. So, okay, cool, Welby, you made another $500,000. What are you going to do with that $500,000? That's my ammunition for me to go and look at income-producing properties. So you're going to have somebody the same way I got those opportunities. Somebody with an income-producing property is hurting right now. They need to get out. They probably don't want to accept it yet. It's coming. It's coming. The banks is changing up how they're going to be funding people now. The banks are tightening up on their criterias now. The banks are requiring you to put more of a deposit down now. The banks are requiring that your credit has to be tighter now. So while you're playing around, there's other people getting prepared. So while you go and get that property under contract, like people are doing now, they get it under contract, they go through the motion of getting the mortgage on it, and then womp, womp, womp. Sorry, we can't fund you due to this or due to that, or you need to come to the table with more of this. It goes back on the market. Then I double back. Hey, Johnny, that house you was trying to sell for $300,000 that was already overpriced. I'll give you $175, $200. That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. Are you prepared for it? Are you in a position to play with that? Because if it's not you, somebody's going to be.
A lot to intake. A lot to intake.
You know the thing, bro? Just tell the people the truth, bro. Just tell the people the truth. A lot of people that be talking, I know them. I'm around them. Just tell the people the truth, bro. It's okay. I tell people straight up, I'm not here to play with you. If you're looking for me to coddle you, I'm not the one for you. If you're looking for me to lie to you, I'm not the one for you. If you're looking for me to tell you that it's going to be butterflies and roses, I'm not the one for you. There's plenty of other people that will tell you that. Real estate investing is a war. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
It's facts. It's not for everybody.
Real estate investing is a war. Only thing I want to do is to assist you in getting prepared for it. So when you are putting in your office and you get denied, you be like, oh shoot, Welby told me that. I'm going to get told way more no's than I'm going to get told a yes. Because I get told way more no's than I get told a yes. When I tell the people, watch out, this is what the realtors are going to do, and this is how you have to utilize the realtor. So when the realtor plays that with you, oh shit, I remember Welby told me that. This is what I have to do. Because most realtors want to work with somebody with the least path of resistance. That's it, right? Realtors like working with customers that give them the least resistance. They like to work with people that they can tell this is what you should or you shouldn't do. Realtors don't like working with people like me. Most realtors do not want to work with investors like me because the investor tells them, this is what I want. This is how I need it. Put in this offer. That's why I tell people, most realtors won't want to work with you when they realize that you know what you're talking about. Why are people getting upset with me when I say that, bro? Because behind the scenes, guess what? They tell me the same thing. The realtor didn't want to work with me because I asked them to put in this offer, and the realtor told me that they're not going to accept the offer because it's too low. It's not your job to tell me that. That's not your job to tell me that. Your job is to put in the offer. That's the job for you. Am I right or wrong?
We work for the client / customer. So if they have a request they want us to do, that's what we got to do.
You as a buyer have been finessed out of your position. You as a buyer have been finessed out of your position. You like to believe because you're working with these people, they're quote unquote licensed. So because they're licensed, they're the subject matter expert. So you fall back. My attorney calls me for real estate advice. You heard what I just said, right?
Yeah, that's
My real estate attorney calls me for real estate investment advice.
It's a huge compliment. They passed the bar. They technically are licensed in real estate to sell real estate as well.
But they're not an investor.
Yeah.
The mindset is different. It took me so long to realize that. Once I realized that and I realized the power that we have, that doesn't mean you abuse your power. I might say certain things, but ask the contractors that work with me. Ask the contractors, does Welby play with you? Does Welby play with your money? They'll tell you, I don't play games like that. I'm willing to overpay. The biggest thing for me is I need the project done. I need it to pass inspection. Ask any of the realtors that work with me. They'll tell you, Welby not only pays, he gives me bonuses. Ask them.
That's rare. All right, so let me ask you this, because I'm an associate broker, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get pushed back if I don't ask you as far as, do you have, the first realtor that pitched you that whole investment property idea sold you a dream, right? That obviously didn't make sense.
Yes.
What, in your definition, makes a good realtor, right? Because we all technically are independent contractors. We all work differently. We don't all work the same. I know there's a lot of horror stories too, because I run into the same thing. Oh, this realtor told me this, the realtor told me that. I'm like, I don't know why they would tell you that. That's not how it goes.
Yeah.
What do you think makes a good realtor?
That old saying, do to others as you'd like them to do to you, right?
Yeah.
I think that's really it. You know that person can't afford that house.
I go with, if I can't put my head on my pillow at night and sleep peacefully, I've done something wrong. You know what I mean?
A realtor has to understand that you have to cater to your customer.
100%.
That's really what it is. You have to cater to the customer. You also make or break a deal. Be careful with the opinions that you share. You know how many times a realtor would tell somebody to buy this property and say, it only needs about $20,000 worth of work. You're not even qualified to even say shit like that. Oh, I'm going to do a video about that. I want to do a video about that today. You're not even qualified to even give advice like that. What happened is that the person that hired you is so dependent on you. So you take what they say. That's what happened to me with the first property. The realtor told me that it would cost me around $20,000. I'm a young kid. I'm in my early 20s. I didn't know. This lady that could be my mother told me this. She introduced me. Can I give some really good advice?
Go ahead.
Some very good advice for everybody. Stop going to these one-stop shop outfits. Stop going to these one-stop shop outfits where the person is telling you they're going to get you the house. They're going to get you the loan. They're going to rehab the property for you. And they're going to manage the property for you. That's how a lot of people are getting hurt right now. You cannot go to a one-stop shop because that relinquishes your control because they are all talking with each other behind your back. You better separate these people. You know the checks and balance system that we have? You need to separate these people and know how to do your checks and balances, have them working together, but separate. When you're doing this one-stop shop, you're giving too much of an opportunity for somebody or that group to take advantage of you. I've seen it happen countless times. So stop going to these one-stop shop outfits and do the work. Do the work as the investor that you say that you are or you want to become.
So let me ask you a question. The mentees that you have in your programs, majority of them are minority-based?
Yeah, pretty much all of them.
So let me ask you a question, because the biggest term right now is generational wealth.
Oh, God.
What are your thoughts on generational wealth? Why do we have such a big gap in the black and brown community opposed to our counterparts?
That's a great question. What do I think about generational wealth? Generational wealth is extremely important, and it should be something that we all strive for. I know I have that video that went viral when I said I hate the term generational wealth. I didn't say I don't like generational wealth or it's not important. I got generational wealth, right? What I didn't like is the term generational wealth turned into a buzzword for marketing purposes. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. Just like marry the house, date the rate.
Okay. So I don't like how that term was used within our community as a way to manipulate people into buying courses and to buying properties incorrectly.
There's a lot of scams that happen because of...
Yes, but now to strive for generational wealth, absolutely it's important. But once again, as I said, the term generational wealth, generational, not generation. So you have people that are being convinced that they have to do shady things all in the world of, I got to create this for the next generation. Absolutely, that's your job to do so, right? But this takes time. You're always going to find exceptions to the rules of people that have been able to, maybe they created an app like Facebook. You think that this guy thought that Facebook, what's his name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Excuse me. You think that Mark Zuckerberg thought that with the idea of Facebook, that Facebook would turn into this multi-billion-dollar property, that he was able to create this
platform?
Yes. Do you think that he thought that? You think that Jeff Bezos thought that he would be where he was at, working out of his garage and owns a multi-billion-dollar company? No. But he went to put in the work. The majority of us will never be at that level. Never. Never. That doesn't mean that you won't be successful. That doesn't mean that you won't be thriving, right? But you have people, especially convincing the next generation, our new generation, Generation X, right? That's what we call them, Generation X.
That's right, Mike?
Right? We're convincing them that you better do it all now or you a failure. It takes time. Put in the work.
Social media definitely doesn't help with that, though, because you see everybody winning, right? Everybody's rich on
Everybody's
Instagram.
winning, except for Welby. Except for me, right?
Everybody's a winner on social media. And then you have people comparing themselves, and comparison is the thief of joy. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are trying to rush the process, and they start making impulsive decisions that they shouldn't have, and then they take those losses, and obviously you learn from the losses. But
why don't you share that? Why don't they share that?
it doesn't sell more courses.
There's more people failing than not.
I mean, if you go on my page, I share all my losses, man. Like, this business has not been easy for me. As you can see, I'm all tattooed up, my neck and everything. You know, I didn't similar background, similar upbringing. So for me to get into the industry where most of my counterparts didn't look like me, it was mentally challenging for me. I doubted myself. I had a lot of insecurities. I'm like, who's gonna want to work with me?
Yeah.
Until I bet on myself.
Damn.
I had faith in me.
Yes.
And I went out and made it happen.
Good for you.
After
man.
the rejections, after the no's, I just made it happen.
Good for you.
You know, I got myself out the hood, out of my mama's basement as well. And, you know, own real estate, beautiful family. I live good. I'm thankful. I'm blessed.
You know what I'm saying?
But I always do the right thing for my clients, because when you're running a business, it's like any store, right? Any bodega that you go to the bodega because you know the guy behind the counter.
That's right.
You know the reputation. It's a family business. They do right by you. They look out for you. Same thing. That's the same mindset that I have. And my parents bought before the crash, Hispanic. We moved out the hood to move back into the hood. We didn't know. They didn't know. They got taken advantage of as well.
You see what I'm saying?
By people who look like us. And it was just a check to them. So I completely agree with some of the things that you say. Because some of the things you say, I can be like,
you don't agree with. Give me one good thing you don't agree with.
Not every realtor's, because I'm in the industry, so I have to obviously defend this. Not every realtor's built the same, right? Not everybody's just out for their paycheck. Of course, this is how we.
But what you don't agree with me about? What do you don't agree?
Nah, like I said, I agree with majority of what you say.
What you don't agree about?
Like, all right, good friend of mine owns a couple of businesses, right? He's a construction company, investor. He pretty much does it all. So as far as like a one-stop shop, and not everybody's built this way though. Their resume speaks for them. Like they do right by people. And like you said, that's what you have to do. So there's always that one person or multiple people who are different from the rest.
So let me ask you something. I agree with you because the people I work with are the same way too. But if you have a pendulum and we talk about contractors, do you hear way more
negatives?
So you agree with me?
Yeah. Like, no, I'm saying as far as like the realtor side.
So let's talk about the realtor stuff. We have a pendulum. Do you hear way more horror stories about realtors, or do you hear way more great stories about realtors?
I'm with you. I'm with you
just
on the
answer the question.
Negative.
Okay. That's who I'm talking for. I'm talking for the people. Yes, it's an uncomfortable conversation. There's always exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, 100%.
I completely agree with you.
And I feel like I'm that exception to the rule.
And you want to know what? I wouldn't be here if
but that's what I'm saying. I appreciate your time and your presence.
That's why I'm saying to you, I wouldn't be here if you weren't. Not only I wouldn't be if you weren't, I wouldn't be working with the realtors I work with if they weren't. Right? That's what I want. But I want the people to understand. You're gonna get told way more no. Most of your offers you're gonna put out, it's gonna be denied.
I agree with you.
It's not because of you. Follow the process, but the fact of the matter is the majority of your offers are going to be made, you're going to be denied. The next thing, the majority of the realtors are not going to want to work with you. The reason why is because they like leading.
You got to have power in the transaction. If you don't have any power in the transaction, you're going to get taken advantage of.
So I got to talk about the majority, not the exception.
I agree with you.
That's what it is.
Then I agree with you.
There you go. So I speak about the majority. The majority of people. I'm speaking in front of audiences with thousands of people, bro.
No,
and
I see
say,
it.
Hey, with a show of hands.
I saw that.
And damn near 90% of the people put their hands up.
Yeah.
And then when I say, I'm you, I ask people, how do you like that deal that you bought? It's okay. You sure? Let's talk about it. I'm not just going to say and just talk shit. It's talk about it. The numbers are the numbers are the numbers are the numbers. Cool. How much you bought the property for? Oh, I bought it for X amount. How much is the property valued at? It's worth X amount. Well, you paid too much. Yeah, I know. Okay, cool. What's your mortgage? Your mortgage is XYZ. What did the mortgage lender tell you? Well, the mortgage lender told me XYZ, this, and that. I understand because that's what happened to me. Okay, how you deal with the contractor? Well, the contractor told me it was going to cost me $20,000, and by the time he came into my house, he broke up my entire property. And before you told me, by the time he was all said and done, he told me it's going to cost him another $20,000.
And I see that a lot.
I see it all the time. It happened to me. So now what happened? I developed a certain level of skills to protect me from it because I have no intentions of not paying a contract.
And
I have no intention, one second, brother. I have no intentions of not paying the realtor our agreement. I want what I'm paying for. What's wrong with that?
I completely agree with you. And again, personal experience dealing with contractors, I agree with you. You know, you get quoted one price, and the next thing you know, it goes up.
So when I'm speaking on it, just watch my videos that go viral.
I see it.
90% agree with me, and I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I always open it up to everybody. I don't know everything. Talk to me. Explain to me. Teach me. I want to learn more. If you could show me some other things, which I'm sure you could teach me, brother. Come on, I don't know everything. I want to learn. But when we're talking about, when we're speaking on, let's stop acting like this is not going on in the industry.
It is. It is.
So what I want to do, I want the people prepared. That's what I want. That's all. That's all I want to do is for you, if you're looking to get prepared, if you're looking to know how to protect yourself, if you're looking for somebody that's going to tell you the truth, I'm the hottest brother out here moving. I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm never going to lie to you. I don't need your money. I didn't make money because I got on social media. I've been making money in real estate. All right? I just happen to be on IG. I just happen to be on Facebook. So if you're looking for somebody that's going to be honest with you, and when I'm honest with you, it's not from an opinion. I don't give an opinion. I'm going to give it to you factually.
You're speaking from experience. You've been through it all.
1 and 1 equals 2. I don't care if you're Hispanic, Black, Asian, white, Caucasian. 1 and 1 equals 2. You take that same approach in real estate. How much did you buy the house for? How much money you have to put into it? By the time you finish putting that, what's your mortgage, taxes, insurance? By the time you deduct it from that, how much are you left with? Whatever the number is what the number is. It's not my opinion. It's a fact.
Numbers don't lie.
So why are you mad at me?
So let's talk about social media, right? A lot of your videos go viral. There was one on Millionaire Mindset that you got a lot of critique on, which I thought was insane, right? Can we talk about it?
I don't know which one. There's a bunch of them, but we can talk about it. I don't know which one.
They were critiquing your shirt.
Oh, the
and they
shirt.
missed the message. And I'm like, how do you not see the bigger picture?
Listen, bro, let me tell you a quick story about the shirt. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. I got, you name whatever you want to think about, I got it. From the jewelries to the Rolexes to the exotic cars. I've been there, done that. With the shirt, what people know about me, I'm big. I don't know, it's just a mental thing. I like my shirt to match what I got on my feet.
Of course.
So you can see what I got on my feet, right? So what happened? That color of the sneakers I had on, I didn't have a shirt to match. So I was just rushing to try and find something. I ran in the mall. If the shirt came from Old Navy, I would have bought it. If the shirt came from Fruit of the Looms, I would have bought it. I don't give a fuck, bro. So that's how the shirt came on.
So it was a U.S. Polo assassination
U.S. Polo
shirt.
assassination. Oh, listen. So that
you got the Ralph Lauren on.
I got the Ralph Lauren on, but I don't give a fuck.
But my point is, people missed the message,
Yes.
and they were just critiquing your shirt.
But listen, the ones that missed the message that was critiquing my shirt, move out of your mother's basement. Move out of your mother's basement. Because the message was for who it was for. The
100%.
majority of the people understood. But you always gonna have an a-hole that just has to be an a-hole about it. If I really gave a damn, I wouldn't have reposted it, and I keep reposting it. I don't give a damn.
That clip is everywhere. It
It
goes
did
viral.
almost 3 million just on my page alone.
Yeah.
That's not counting other people. I had other people that took the post and other posts that happened on Millionaire Mindset's interview, and they used it for their own to try and whatever, knock me or not. Listen, bro, if you're not in this space, then you don't understand. And anything I'm talking about, I got the receipts to back it up.
But let me ask you a question, because you see that a lot from our upbringing, right? You got to be fresh. You got to look fly. Why is it that it's always people like us tearing down other people who look like us when the message you gave was 100% facts, but they can't see the message because
it's certain. No, they could see the message. They heard it all too well. It's just surface level. They heard it all too well, but the easiest response that they could give is surface level response. They can't come up with an intelligent conversation. That's why a lot of them say, I rock with what he's doing. Oh, I just don't like the shirt he got on. Okay.
who cares?
Okay.
Bro, I grew up, my mom used to take us to Payless, shop for sneakers, like thrift stores, hand-me-downs. I grew up in all that. You know what I mean?
Bro, listen, I listen, I don't care. Like I'm not I don't care. That didn't bother me at all, because when I'm leaving, I don't listen. I'm not a person that likes to.
You got the Ferrari outside?
No, I got the other car outside, but I'm just saying I don't lead with that. I don't lead with showing off. I don't lead with eating in your face. I don't lead with any of that. Talk to me about how I buy that house and how I'm making X amount of money. Let's talk about that. So that shit, I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
But and that quote that it's not on me, it's in me. I feel like that's 100% you. And same thing with me. Like I don't care. Like I don't care if it's designer or not. I'll wear it. Like it is what it is.
There you go. And let me just show, because I don't want to throw some more shots. But man,
you've been shooting all episode. You don't want to throw no more shots.
Saying, bro, they just. I didn't give a damn. I just wanted to make it clear with the message, and it got to where it got to, and I was happy that the conversation happened. No different than the other message that went viral when I said interest rates doesn't matter. That went crazy as well with that, and.
But I like that you said that, because what matters is the deal. You said, right? And that's 100% facts.
That's right.
Doesn't matter what the rate. Look back then, what rates were like in the 12s. When my parents bought, rates were in the 12s.
Yeah, my highest rate ever was 13.
13%.
13% interest rate. So when people are crying about this 7% interest rate,
it's nothing compared to what it was back then.
To what it was. You waiting for a 2%, 3%? That's never happening. Not in our lifetime. Not in my lifetime. You're never gonna see that again. You're never gonna see that again.
No, nobody expected that.
You're never gonna see that.
Nobody expected. And there's people who are sitting on 2-3%, living the dream right now. So all right. So let's bring into, because the industry is going to change, right? This seller's market or high market or whatever you want to call it is not going to be sustainable forever. There's got to be a correction. It's got to be corrected.
I'm happy that you're saying it.
It has to be.
It has
but I
to
tell
be.
people this all the time.
Yeah.
I said, look, if you're looking to cash out and sell your property, do it now, because there's no crystal ball. There's nothing saying, all right, this is going to change in July, in August. Just the market. It is what it is. But now what's going on in our industry, right, is there's rules changing. So as far as like MLS, and we can't offer compensation out, I think in July or August, things are changing. They got to decouple commissions. So now what realtors are talking about is, how are we going to get paid, right? And this affects the black and brown community.
Are we talking
the
about
NAR settlement? We're talking about the $418 million NAR settlement.
The buyer has to pay for their own realtor.
Basically.
I agree with it.
But that's going to affect the black and brown community. Not only black and brown, VA loans, because technically VAs can't pay their commission, basically. Veterans, that's going to make a bigger wealth gap more than what it is now.
I could see the concern, but then I also see the opportunity, though.
Opportunity as more opportunities to buy for you?
I see opportunities definitely for me, but I see opportunities on both sides. So I'm selling a flip. I want $500,000 for the flip. I only have to pay my realtor 2.5%, 3%. And then I'll have a buyer come in. And the buyer could buy the property. and there's 20 other people that's selling their homes for about the same price, but they not paying. They got to only pay their seller's realtor. And then here I go and say, oh, you buy. Tell your buyer, don't worry about it. I'll pay the commission for you. Don't worry about it. Who do you think they're gonna buy from?
You.
Because even though the NARS, the rules are gonna be implemented, it didn't say I can't.
No, you can. It just can't be disclosed on MLS. You can still pay a buyer's agent commission 100%.
So listen, everybody, buyers, everybody. I'm gonna put it on the gram right now. I'm still paying your buyers, your realtors. So just come to me.
Your property's going to sell 10 times quicker.
So you could see that there is an issue. Absolutely. It's gonna eliminate the fugazi realtors.
I'm glad you said that.
It's gonna eliminate them.
Yep.
Your realtors that don't put in that work, the ones that are the elites like yours are gonna rise to the top, and then people that see the opportunity. So then now it goes back to what I always say over and over again. You make your money on the buy. So now the way I buy, I'm already factoring in, man, I'm gonna be paying my realtor X amount. Your buyer that's showing you the property and stuff like that, don't worry about it. Your buyers, I'll take that off your hands. So you got FHA. Now instead of you rolling down your realtor's commission into it, I'll pay for that. Don't worry about that. Oh, you know what? I'll even give you a seller's concessions towards your closing costs. Who do you think they're gonna go to?
Yours without a doubt.
So keep crying or adapt.
True hustlers always adapt. And the fact that you've been able to take so many losses, and where we come from, they said, you're not a real hustler if you can't lose it all and make it back. So you're here, you're successful, you've overcome so much, right? All your success, you're doing a lot of webinars. Where can people sign up to be a part of the mentee program and get everything, all the knowledge?
If you go on my Instagram page, you could go to @mybest197.com, or you could always send me a DM so you could join any of the mentorship classes I have. I have one coming up again. I have a 2-week training called the Real Estate Kickstart. And I do them every few weeks, but the next one is going to be May 20th. And if you want to, and basically the largest question, the biggest question I get asked all the time in my DMs is, how do I get started? And there is not a one simple response for everybody, because it's supposed to be tailor-made to the individual. So that's what you're going to get in the Kickstart class, where I'm going to show you how to properly get started in the business of investing in real estate. And I don't care if you're a wholesaler, if you're a flipper, a buy and holder, a subject to, it doesn't matter. This is where you want to be. This class is where you want to be. So if you want to be involved with it, whenever I announce it, you could send me a message to get on the wait list, or you could right now get on the wait list by commenting Kickstart on any one of my posts. A link will be sent to you, and then somebody from my team or even myself might give you a call, and we talk about exactly what you're going to be receiving in the class, and if we're aligned, you could join.
It's amazing, man. Yo, once again, I appreciate you taking the drive, come to the studio.
Now, we had to do it, man.
It's long overdue. Anything else you could leave us off with? One last thing. What would it be?
Bet on yourself. That's what I would tell you to do. Truly bet on yourself. The number one way to protect yourself is to educate yourself. And I'm not just talking simply YouTube University. Truly educate yourself. When you educate yourself, you understand the right questions to ask. When you know how to ask the right questions based off of the responses, you then know the next set of questions to ask. By you being able to do so, you peel the onion out, peel the onion back. As long as it continues making sense, keep going. Once you see there's a problem, find out if you can resolve it or not. If you can, keep going. If you can't, back out. Don't buy it. You make your money on the buy.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Another episode, $1 million episode. My guy Welby here, man. I appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, the notification bell. Share this episode with anybody and everybody that needs to hear this. This man gives you nothing but facts, honesty, raw, authentic. Again, Welby, we appreciate you coming by, man.
Be prepared for a couple of viral clips. Thank you for having me come. I appreciate you.
Let's go.
Thank you, brother.